Hello, ladies and gentlemen. First off, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers that I got after my first two videos. It's very much appreciated. I finally got you a HD Pokemon Wi-Fi battle today against the one and only Pyrotoz. It's an NU tier match, of course, and we had it over the Smogon Battle Finder. We always have great matches together. It's always pretty even. Based off my opponent's team, the biggest threats that I see are the Sneasel and the Rapidash because they're both very fast and they hit pretty hard, especially against the vast majority of my team type-wise. So let's get straight into the match, which looks great on my computer. So I lead with my Vileplume while he leads with his Hypno, which is a terrible lead for me type-wise. So I switch out immediately into my Beeheyem. I switch out probably predicting a Psychic, which I do take very nicely. And I also was kind of surprised that Hypno would be carrying Psychic because mostly you see them doing the whole wish and seismic toss shenanigans, which is very annoying. So he actually goes for taunt here to prevent me from setting up, which is really a bad play on my hand. You should never try to set up immediately, like second turn of the game. So I switch out from my Beeheyem and I go into my Relicanth in an attempt to set up my Stealth Rock while he goes for his Calm Mind. Now, immediately when I saw this, I was like, my mind was like blown. I've always wanted to try an offensive Hypno in 5th gen. I really liked Hypno in 1st gen, but seeing how much damage it does to Relicanth, I'm really interested to try out a Hypno. The Psychic really does a number to Relicanth, even though I have significant HP investment. I do manage to get up my rocks, but it's probably in vain because, as you saw from the team preview, he does have a Baltoy, which everyone knows has Rapid Spin. I switch out to my Lickilicky since it's my special wall, and it takes a huge amount of damage from the Psychic because it was a critical hit. And right now at this point, I'm like, I was really panicking because this Hypno had a potential to sweep through my teams, but luckily on this Lickilicky I do carry the Dragon Tail, so I'm at least able to phase him out before he can do any more significant damage. When I managed to bring out his Baltoy now, which is pretty good because this Lickilicky isn't a standard one. It doesn't have the whole Wish, Heal Bell. It's a Rest and Sleep Talk one. So I'm able to rest off all the damage that his Hypno was able to do before. So really that crit didn't matter too much in the long run. He's able to get up his rocks, which is really crucial because I don't have a spinner. I don't typically tend to carry a rapid spinner in NU because I'm not the biggest fan of the rapid spinners there. I mean, Wartortle's pretty good, but the other ones, I mean, Baltoy is pretty good type-wise. It's just it doesn't have any form of recovery, and it's just there to take a few hits and just set up Stealth Rock and Rapid Spin. And I've actually had instances where I've been able to set up on these things because they just literally do no damage at all. I was able to get a Body Slam off on this Baltoy. I keep trying to just Sleep Talk and get as much damage off as possible. He eventually decides to withdraw his Baltoy and send out his Leafeon. And I finally wake up and I go for the Body Slam, hoping for the paralysis because these things can get very annoying. And I see how pitiful damage that actually did. That was just terrible. So this immediately tells me that he's one of the defensive variants with Wish, and probably Heal Bell and Leaf Blade, Protect, all those shenanigans. He goes out to his Weavile after this when I go out to my Vileplume as my Leafeon check. And this is, again, a terrible, terrible matchup for me. So, and he predicts this. So he goes out to his Baltoy while... That's strange. I actually stay in. Well, I am physically defensive, so I probably could have taken one hit from his Sneasel. Huh. I haven't seen this video in a while, so sorry if my narration isn't quite on key. He goes out to his Hypno after I Giga Drain his Baltoy. I Giga Drain his Hypno, and it does a sizable chunk. This next series of plays really just mind boggle me. I stay in against the Hypno even though I know it's an offensive variant and I know it carries Psychic. I know I can live one, and that's what Vileplume does. And I go for the Sludge Bomb, hoping for the poison chance as the same chance as Scald, but I just don't get it, which is fairly annoying because any kind of passive damage that I can get on this Hypno would be very much appreciated. This play right here with the staying in on the second time, I sincerely thought that my switch out to Lickilicky was fairly obvious, so I thought he was going to go for a Calm Mind predicting that, but so I could get off more damage on him and maybe a poison, but he just ends up going for a Psychic again, and it just takes out my Vileplume, which is really, really bad because that's half of my defensive core here with Lickilicky. Which I go for a Body Slam now on his Leafeon, and that does, again, a pitiful amount of damage because it's also physically defensive. And I go for another Body Slam just hoping to get a paralysis because I know that this Leafeon can get very annoying to my team very quickly now that Vileplume is gone. And I switch out to my Beeheyem because he roared me out, which is very good to know because he probably doesn't have a particular support move like Heal Bell or Protect, something along those lines. He switches out his Leafeon to his Baltoy, I'm guessing as death fodder because I do have the Signal Beam which hits Leafeon and this Baltoy super effectively, so I'm finally able to get rid of this Baltoy, but he was able to both spin away and set up his rocks, which means it fulfilled its use in this battle. He goes out to his Sneasel, which is very bad for me because he hits my Beeheyem very hard with Dark Stab, which he actually has the beat up, which does a number, as you'll see, to my Sawk, which is very troubling because now that Vileplume is gone, I can't get more Life Orb damage on him. So what I do is I figure that he would think that I'm Scarfed. So I predicted him to switch out into his Leafeon in order to sponge any attack that my Sawk would do. So I switch out to my Lampent as a check to that. Whenever you play someone as many times as I played Pyrotoz, you have to make sort of some of these conventional plays in order to stay a step ahead. So predicting him to think that I would go for a substitute against his Leafeon, which normally would do nothing to my Lampent, I just go straight for the Flamethrower to take it out. He goes out to his Rapidash now after this. Now, I know I can live any singular hit from a Rapidash because I have a Violite and I have significant HP bulk, but he gets a crit with the Drill Run, which is unfortunate for me because I can't get any damage on him. Now I go into my Sawk because it's Choice Scarf and it's Earthquake, and it brings Swift Death to this Rapidash, which is really, really nice. And after this, I believe he goes into his Hypno. Yes, that's right. Now, I was really concerned here whether or not an Earthquake would take out his Hypno, because I do know that they have decent bulk. But fortunately enough, I do from that range. So that's 2 kills for Sawk. And he goes out to his Lumineon, which I've never ever actually seen in a Wi-Fi battle before, which is pretty cool. And I switch out to my Relicanth because I honestly have no idea what these things want to do. They could probably scald or something, but he goes for a Tailwind, which is very, I want to say very threatening, because after this, his Sneasel would outspeed my Choice Scarf Sawk. So he's able to take out my Relicanth with a Surf from that range, and also because he's Life Orb. Oh wow, Lumineon actually got a kill. I go out to my Beeheyem purely to set up a Trick Room in order to counteract his Tailwind. He does a significant amount of damage with the Surf while I'm able to set up my Trick Room, and I go for a Psychic here. Looking at the amount of damage it does, I probably could have just straight away went for the Psychic while he got another Surf off, but then he would have had the Tailwind up. So I figured I might as well just get the advantage in speed right now with the Trick Room to counteract his own speed advantage. So my Beeheyem goes down, and his Lumineon also goes down due to Life Orb, while I go out to my Lickilicky as his Tailwind tapers out. Now, the only Pokemon I believe he has left is his Sneasel, and I have both my Lickilicky and my Sawk. Trick Room is still up, which my Lickilicky will be able to outspeed his Sneasel, and I'm hoping I could do as much damage as I can with his Body Slam, but it just does a sorry amount, and my Lickilicky gets struck with a low kick, which really does a significant amount. Now, all this time he's taking Life Orb damage, and I'm thinking, well, the only way I can win now is if he does a significant amount of Life Orb damage to himself. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get another hit off with Lickilicky because he has the priority Ice Shard, which manages to take me out from that range, which is really unfortunate. Now the Trick Room is still up, and I have a Choice Scarf Sawk. Normally I would outspeed, but as you see, he goes for an Ice Punch because he's faster in Trick Room, and he lives with just the tiniest smidgen. I believe he told me it was 7, and I lose. It was still a fun match. It was just a very tiny amount from being a draw, but it was still a GG. Anyway, thank you again for the match. Thank everyone for watching. If you would leave a comment, it would help me improve my narration. So I hope everyone has a good day. Thank you.